Pixel 7a has been out a couple of days now, and here are my first impressions of that Google Pixel 7a. Over the last few years, Google's A series of phones have been really competitively priced, and they go up against some of the bigger, more flagship phones really well, and Google's 7a is doing exactly that. The unboxing of the Pixel 7a is about as simple as it gets. You have that phone with that protective paper over the front, the USB-C cable, and that little phone connectory thing, which I can't see many people even ever using now. The buttons on this phone are something that I really like because they're nice and like clicky. I feel like you don't get really nice clicky buttons on phones anymore, but you do on the Pixel 7a. The first thing that you notice though about the 7a is, oh, it looks like a Pixel 7, and for all intents and purposes, it does look exactly like that, especially from the back as well. You have that camera bar that goes across the back of the phone, and that is where those two cameras are housed, and from the back, I don't think you could tell that this was a Pixel 7a and not a Pixel 7. When you turn it around, it still looks like a Pixel 7, but a Pixel 7 that has some slightly bigger bezels, and that is a noticeable thing. You do notice those bezels on the 7a, but I'm not against big bezels on a phone if that phone works really well, and luckily for the Pixel 7a, this phone for $499 does work really well. In the first few days of using it, you can tell it's a big upgrade straight away from the Pixel 6a, and the big thing that I noticed that the upgrade has come in is that fingerprint reader on the front to unlock the phone. It's so much better on the 7a than last year's Pixel 6a. It's quick, it's responsive, and it actually works really well, whereas last year I had to put my thumb on the phone a few times to open it up. Now on the Pixel 7a, it will just open first time. Like I said, I've only been using it a few days, but the big jump in difference here is that 90Hz display. I am so happy that we get this now on the Pixel 6a, and it gets the exact same 90Hz display as its big brother, the Pixel 7, and it takes your experience of using a mid-range phone up by such a jump, the 90Hz. So having 60, I don't even think should be on a phone anymore. The 90Hz is such a game-changing jump from the Pixel 6a last year to now having this 90Hz display on the Google Pixel 7a. I'll talk more about that display in the full review of this Pixel 7a, so if you want to see that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. In terms of day-to-day use over the past few days, it's actually been pretty decent. It's quick, it's responsive, and that battery life I found so far will easily get you to the end of a day, and if not, you can always give that new wireless charging a go and see how that works. The one thing about this Android 13 is that it feels like a flagship experience, even though you're using a phone that is half the price of its biggest, best phone, the Pixel 7 Pro. If you were to use this in like a blind test and you didn't know which one you were scrolling on, I don't think you'd be able to tell that this was the 7a opposed to a Pixel 7 Pro. Google make the A series phones so competitive against the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro, it's really hard to justify going for that Pixel 7. I've not had too much to play around with yet in terms of the camera, but from the photos I've taken so far, I can't tell a huge difference in quality between these on the Pixel 7a and that of the Pixel 7 Pro. But I suppose if I put them side by side, you might notice a slight difference, but again, this is something that I will end up doing in that full review, and it gives me time to play with the camera just a little bit more. So far so good for the Pixel 7a, and it really does push the bigger brother, the Pixel 7, all the way. So can you justify spending a couple more $100s to pick up a Pixel 7 when you can get almost everything that you can get on that phone on the Pixel 7a? Well, I will have a look at that in the full review. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and of course, let me know what you think of this Pixel 7a in the comments down below. And then if you do all of that, then I'll see you later.